Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Kyle Jones with Humane Animal Rescue of Pittsburgh, and I'm chatting with our very own Dr. Ariella Sampson. Dr. Sampson, can you introduce yourself to our viewers and kind of give them a little background on yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Samson. I am the Chief Veterinary Officer here at Humane Animal Rescue of Pittsburgh. I've been with the organization for a little over 4 years. My specialties are in shelter medicine and high volume, high quality spay neuter, as well as public health and population management. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, but have gone a little bit all over the country for my various degrees, most recently completing my internship in shelter medicine at University of Pennsylvania.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us. And, unfortunately, I'm not here either. So hopefully everyone watching won't hold that against us. We're very committed to the Pittsburgh community and really love it here. So we've been taking questions all throughout the week, across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And one of the questions that I see that keeps coming up quite a bit is concerning flea, heartworm, tick medication. Is it something that's necessary in this area? Is it a waste of money? A lot of people are curious about that. What do you have to say?
It's a great question, and especially for this time of year as things start to get warmer. So, both flea and tick preventative medication as well as heartworm preventatives are necessary for your pet year round. We are no longer in an area where it gets cold enough for long enough to see the big die-offs in fleas and ticks and other parasites that we once saw. So the old, well, you don't have to give it during the winter no longer applies. It is still warm enough here in the winter for us and our pets to get affected by those things. It's also important to note that we are very much in the heart of Lyme country. The deer tick, and I know everyone around here has seen deer in Pittsburgh. The deer tick is what carries Lyme disease, and we diagnose it pretty much on a daily basis through our clinic, and most often in animals that are not on monthly preventative medication. So definitely worthwhile. The other really important things to note about the medications are unless they're over the counter, meaning unless it's something you can buy at the store, like Frontline as an example, if it's something that requires a prescription, it is only legally sold to veterinary pharmacies and veterinary offices. So that being said, if you're going to your local Walmart or Tractor Supply or even Chewy and trying to get those medications, they are not coming directly from the source, which is the manufacturer, which is why we always recommend buying it straight from your veterinarian. That is the only way to ensure that you're getting the actual product you're paying for. That product is very much worth your time and your money. And that product is safe and will keep your pet safe. The products that are sold elsewhere cannot be vouched for. And unfortunately, there have been a number of scandals in this country where people were making lots of money off of fake pet products. Most recently, there's been a big to-do about the Seresto collars. All the Seresto collars that have caused significant illness have been fake. They have not been actual Seresto collars from the manufacturer. They had been forgeries or fakes that had been made and sold. So really important to get that stuff from your vet. Same with your heartworm medication. That is always going to be prescription only. There is no over-the-counter version. It's also really important to give year-round. We used to live in an area, again, where people didn't worry so much about it. Mosquitoes didn't live that long, and when they did, they weren't often carrying the disease. But since the invention of relocation, transportation, bringing animals up from other climates, as well as the mass relocations we saw after Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Katrina, heartworm disease is now very much endemic to our region.
Oh, wow. I really didn't know that, especially about the over or ordering those medications. Yes, thank you for telling me that. I think I need to switch what we're doing and maybe come directly to you. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that information with us. But speaking of kind of what we're giving our pets, where are you on vaccinations? Like my fiance, she kind of handles everything. I need to be more informed, and I think there's a lot of other people out there that should be informed as well. I don't know what vaccinations my pets need or they don't need. A Google search can tell me a lot of different things, but now that I have
Mhm.
you right here, why don't I hear it straight from the source?
Sure. So I'm going to stick with dogs and cats for this one because
Okay.
there are other issues when you talk about exotics. You know, your ferrets should be getting vaccines as well. But in terms of dogs and cats, we have what are considered core vaccines and lifestyle vaccines. So in dogs, your core vaccines are going to be your rabies and your distemper, DHPP. And then depending on you and your pet, Bordetella, which is also called the kennel cough vaccine.
Hmm.
And then in terms of lifestyle vaccines, meaning what you and your pet do, if you guys go hiking in the woods and are around areas that might have really dense tick populations, the Lyme vaccine is definitely an option, as well as the leptospirosis vaccine, which is a vaccine against a spirochete that lives in stagnant water. So if you are someone that goes out and hangs out in the woods with your dog, that is a very deadly infection that they can get, but we can vaccinate against it. For our cat lovers, we don't want to forget about them. Your core vaccines are again going to be your rabies. That is required by law in the state of PA for both dogs and cats. And your FERCP vaccine, which is panleukopenia and a couple other of the more common viruses we see in cats. And then if you have a cat that goes inside and outside, we also recommend that they be feline leukemia vaccinated. And that is a vaccine that does have to be given yearly because it does not build good immunity in the body.
So, you know, there are no stupid questions. Where can I get my dogs or my cats vaccinated?
Well, we're always happy for you to come see us. We do have two clinic locations or two veterinary medical centers, one at the East End and one at the North Shore location. We're always happy to see people there. We also hold vaccine clinics every 3 weeks to allow more people to get in to get their pets vaccinated. Again, this is both dogs and cats. And then throughout the year, we put on a number of vaccine clinic events that are less regular. Also, when we are not in the midst of COVID, we do walk-in vaccine hours.
Oh, fantastic. I actually just took advantage of that for one of my hounds. And this is kind of a good segue as well. You talked about, you know, people that bring their pets out into the woods with them on hikes or into water. I do that quite a bit. Like I said, I've got my two hounds at home and they love nothing more than that. So I was really happy to be able to get them vaccinated recently. And, you know, just for you know, to brag on your staff, it was incredibly quick. My dog absolutely loved it. And everyone there was so knowledgeable. You know, it's obviously I'm a little bit biased because I work here with Humane Animal Rescue, but like I said, they were so knowledgeable, and even someone who works around, you know, professionals like yourselves every day, they were able to teach me quite a bit. Which brings me to my next point. And as I said, I've got two hounds that love running around in the woods, getting into water, getting dirty, and I found my little one. She's got a lot of white on her. And, you know, a couple other people asked this question this week as well, is kind of how many bass is too many bass? I know if it was up to her, it would probably be zero. But, you know, as they're cuddled up with us all the time, you know, they definitely need it. So how many bass is too many bass?
Sure. So one, thank you for the kind remarks. I'm very, very proud of our staff here at Humane Animal Rescue of Pittsburgh. We are also a fear-free certified shelter, which means that we try to do the least aversive techniques with all of our pets. So you'll see lots of yummy treats, peanut butter, squeezed cheese, pepperoni, things like that being used while they get their vaccine, so they don't even notice it's happening.
Yeah,
In
my
terms of
sorry.
baths,
Go ahead. Well, I was gonna say, yeah, June ate far too much while she was there. So, but she absolutely loved it. She loved it. But sorry to interrupt you.
good, I'm
Please
glad.
continue. Yeah.
No, that's fine. So again, yeah, most pets would say 0 baths is the right number of baths. Us
Yeah.
humans don't agree, and to the best part of their knowledge, they don't really agree either.
Mm.
So it's usually not recommended that you bathe any pet more than once a week unless they're being treated for a specific condition, and that would be something your vet would tell you. If you're bathing them more than once a week, you usually have a high likelihood of drying out their skin, and they'll end up getting those dandruffy flakes like humans do as well. In terms of not enough, I would say every pet should be bathed at least once every 3 months, ideally. Just trying to get the general grime and daily wear and tear of everything off of them. And then as needed. So no more than once a week unless told by your vet, no less than once every 3 months or so.
Got you. And so what type of, just for my knowledge and everyone watching, what types of kind of conditions would warrant a pet needing, constant cleaning?
Sure. So, what we normally see or recommend with animals that have dermatitis or skin infections of different kinds is to do topical treatments. So, a lot of times that includes bathing. Just like in the human world, antimicrobial resistance, so antibiotics not working anymore and having things like MRSA and MRSP are very real concerns in the veterinary world. So, we try to give out oral antibiotics as little as we can. That means using a lot of topicals, and one of those is baths. So my girl, Taza, who is a HARP alum, has typical pit bull allergies, and gets really itchy and will rub herself and give herself these little infections that are usually yeast based and then sometimes secondary bacterial. When that happens, she goes on twice weekly baths. So she gets a bath twice a week, usually for 2 or 3 weeks. And that's with a special shampoo that has antifungal, so things that'll kill the yeast, and antibacterial properties in it. And then we follow up with a conditioner to try to prevent her skin from getting too dried out.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for answering our questions. And for everyone watching, we definitely want to keep doing this. Dr. Sampson and I have been talking recently. We want to be able to bring this type of information to you. As I said before, we have such wonderful, educated professionals who really know their stuff. And so, please stay tuned. Follow our social media. We will be doing these more often. But to kind of send us off, Dr. Sampson, if I have any more questions, what resources are available to me that Heart provides?
So you can absolutely check our website. We have a lot of great information on there, talking about the vaccines that we offer, core vaccines versus lifestyle vaccines, the types of heartworm and flea and tick preventatives we recommend, that type of stuff. You can also always give us a call at our veterinary medical centers. We would love to talk to you and try and give you some advice if possible. Otherwise, I would stick to your kind of pro online tipsters. Dr. Google is not your friend when it comes to a lot of these things. So try and stick to, AVMA or AHA. Those are the two big organizations that can tell you about vaccines and about other preventatives.
Wonderful. Well, again, Dr. Sampson, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for chatting with us and sharing this information. And to everyone else watching, thank you. And as we said, we'll be bringing you more information like this here in the near future. Say bye,
Thanks,
Dr. Samson.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.